From inside the gym at Leominster High School, we say a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of High School Basketball right here on RFM. Great to have you along with us live tonight on YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch, or in delay with our partners at Leominster TV. Once again, a very good evening and a little late on the air, a little bit of a delay in the action in front of us. Junior varsity game just wrapping up a matter of moments ago here on senior night here at the gym at Leominster High School. As the girls teams take center stage, Leominster plays host to rival Shrewsbury. Leominster comes in with a 5-4 record, hot off of a win last night, a rare back-to-back schedule. Leominster, a win on the road at Sharon last night, a 56-39 victory in that game. Second win in a row for the Blue Devils, going back to last week, a 69-31 win over arch rival Fitchburg. So the Blue Devils find themselves on a 2-game winning streak, winners of 2 out of their last 5 after dropping 3 straight. Tonight it's Shrewsbury in town for the Blue Devils. Meanwhile, Shrewsbury and Coach Nate Scaramont having a little bit of a down year compared to what we usually expect from a Colonial athletic team. 2-8 overall for this varsity team, and right now, from what Coach Scaramont tells us, it's a young team. Limited varsity experience coming into the season, just 3 seniors on the roster. It's a good core that Coach Scaramont is trying to build his program around. Most recently, a 2-point loss on Tuesday night to Algonquin, 41-39. They've lost 3 straight against Wachusett, at Natick, and Algonquin. Wachusett, who hasn't, 4 out of their last 5 were losses in the last 2023 series of games. We welcome you to our courtside broadcast position alongside Bill Thomas, Todd Robbins for RFM, and great to have you along with us tonight. Kate Robbins will join us in a matter of moments from back at RFM HQ. But here we are, 2 teams certainly that find this win to be incredibly important. For Shrewsbury, every single win down this stretch will be massively important. And meanwhile, for Leominster, just as much, every single win will matter. And Bill Thomas, we were talking about this one, kind of, where would we find the storyline tonight? Well, senior night certainly provides part of that storyline. Opportunity for Leominster to acknowledge 3 seniors. And, of course, if you're going, it's January, senior night, such an odd time for that. Remember, this girls varsity program had the upside-down schedule. They played at home through the month of December and on through most of January with just a limited number of road games to this point. They are on the road for the foreseeable future with just maybe 1 home game left in the patch, thus the reason to run senior night tonight. So that's certainly going to be one of those points of conversation. But beyond that, Bill Thomas, it's, again, the need for both of these teams to get a win. And for Leominster, playing off of back-to-back nights, something you don't traditionally do in high school basketball, an important thing, certainly something you might see down the road in a tournament format or maybe every other night. So certainly the ability to come back on short rest and recollect yourself and be prepared, an important marker tonight for this Blue Devil team.
Oh, absolutely. And, it probably couldn't come at a better time. They seem to have found their scoring touch, Todd. They've struggled to put points on the board night in and night out. But back-to-back games against Fitchburg and Sharon, most recently, they've kind of lit up the scoreboard. A 69 against Fitchburg, backed it up with 59 against Sharon, and they've found a couple of players have found their range from beyond the 3-point arc, which is nice to see because that always loosens up the defense a little bit, makes everybody's job a little easier under the basket, and it's good to see Rusty's crew coming around, but they haven't given up shooting, and finally some of those shots are falling, and couldn't come at a better time. They just worked their way above 500. This is a team that you would hope you could put into the win column this game tonight, even though it's back-to-back. When you're going for 10 wins, there's certain games that you must win. And I would say this is a game they must win if they have tournament aspirations.
Third member of the broadcast team is Kate Robbins, and she's standing by at RFM HQ. And Kate, you hear Billy and I talking about it. This is a must-have game for both teams for entirely different reasons. Both teams need this win, and for Shrewsbury, it could be the win that catapults them on to the back half of their schedule, where every single win is going to matter if they're going to get themselves into that top 32, or at least to a 500 record, to be tournament eligible.
for a lot of teams, this is the part of the season that becomes not just maker. I mean, it's character defining, it's season defining, and they become make or break every single game because you can either go on a run or go on a slide or just kind of keep trudging along with what you've been doing. And so, as you guys have both mentioned already, both of these teams in a very big need of a win, and for very different reasons. Leominster looks to try to get into that playoff position, and they're going to need to be efficient here down the stretch. On paper, this is a game they need to win. They should win. They got to go in and execute.
Meanwhile, if you're on the other side of things, Kate, certainly seeing the Shrewsbury program coming in at 2-8 is an incredibly unusual situation. But again, a situation where they've got a lot of young athletes. So this is perhaps the beginning of a much longer race for the majority of Coach Scaramont's squad.
Well, it is and it isn't. If you follow kind of the more global understanding of what's been going on in high school athletics here in the last, year or so, it makes sense. Shrewsbury is having to play a Division I schedule. They're having to put forth a host of Eastern Mass teams and really play to a specific competition in order to be playoff eligible from the get-go. And so you're seeing kind of Central Mass teams branching out, kind of spreading their wings a little bit. And right now it's like kind of touching the sun, and it's a little too hot right now. But I think as teams like Shrewsbury and potentially Leominster, if they get redistricted, if you will, in the divisions, they'll have a situation in which they're going to have to try to find that sweet spot and play up to Eastern Mass competition.
And to your point, Kate, losses for Shrewsbury at Wayland, at King Philip, at Chicopee, at Natick, all in this part of the year. Kate, stand by for us. We're going to continue previewing this one. There will be a second portion to this warm-up coming up, as first the senior night festivities here at the gym at Leominster High School, as Leominster acknowledges its 3 senior members in the class of 2023. Stay with us. Leominster and Shrewsbury on deck. Senior night to begin right here on RFM. Our next senior
Number 21, senior Denham Murphy. Denham is accompanied by her parents, Charisse and Sean, her sisters, Reagan and Taylor, her brother, Jordan, and grandmother, Mumbo. Denham transferred from St. Bernard's in her first year as a Blue Devil. Denham is the epitome of a teammate and the best support system you could ever ask for on a team. She's always positive, constantly hustling, and working hard. She brings a lot of fun and smiles to every practice. Next year, she plans to attend Worcester State University, where she will major in education. Congratulations to senior Denham Murphy. And our final senior this evening, number 33, senior captain, Isabella Negro. Isabella is accompanied by her father, Mark, and mother, Andrea. Isabella is a 4-year varsity player and 2-year captain. Over the past 3 years, she has made great contributions to the varsity basketball program. Unfortunately, due to an injury at the start of the season, she's had to take on a new role this year. She has transformed from a player to a student coach and the #1 hype man at practice and during games. She's always pushing the girls to work harder. Isabella has shown great leadership and determination through the adversity she has faced this season. Next year, Isabella plans to attend Suffolk University, where she will major in communications. Congratulations to senior captain, Isabella Nevo. Fans, join me one more time in congratulating the class of 2023, Milena Montalvo, Denham Murphy, and Isabella Nevo. One final warm-up period and then tip-off of Leominster and Shrewsbury. Stay with us.
Many hats we wear on this broadcast, Bill Thomas. Many hats indeed. Thank you so much, sir, as always. Great to have you along with us here on RFM this evening. So senior night among us there. I noticed, I want to just read this into the record, Bill Thomas, because I noticed our microphone was off. That's my fault. Operator error, so to speak. But senior Milena Montalvo, the read here in the building, not able to be heard over the broadcast. I just want to get this back out there. I had the mic off.
Did. Oh, you had them all
yeah,
off.
Yes. So Milena was accompanied by her mom, Crystal, and 2 sisters, Eliana and Azalea. Over the past 2 seasons, Milena has shown us what determined and aggressive players look like on the court. She never gives up and always gives 100%. She's a star flag football player, and next year plans to continue studying forensic science and is undecided on her future school. She will continue playing basketball and flag football after graduation. That is Leominster senior number 12, Milena Montalvo. And that is senior night here inside the gym at Leominster High School. And these senior nights, Bill Thomas, are always a great opportunity for our programs to get to acknowledge and pay tribute to student athletes who have made great contributions. And this has been a program we've talked about time in and time out that has been on the younger end, which makes the limited number of seniors that much more important.
Oh, for sure. And, anytime you get to recognize, your players, your athletes, for the good that they do, whether within the team, within the school community, or within the community in general, you got to do it. You hear about these days where, some schools withholding acknowledgement of students, but that's not going to happen around here, that's for sure. And it's great to be a part of this, whatever sport it is. Usually it's the basketball and football programs that we're able to participate in these types of ceremonies, and I couldn't be prouder to be part of it and to see these girls get recognized for their achievements.
No question about it. And Kate Robbins standing by at RFM HQ as well. And Kate, you've had the opportunity to go through senior night, both as a player and as a coach. Senior nights are really incredibly special nights, and this one, storyline-wise, is a little bit unique as the three Leominster seniors, Nevar due to injury, Murphy comes off the bench. There are not necessarily a lot of senior leaders that are going to take to the floor tonight on senior night, so it sort of changes that storyline where we usually talk about having to control your emotions, thinking about your last time playing at home. All those things usually get wrapped up in a senior night, and it not necessarily applicable tonight.
And it's quite a unique situation. Very rarely on a varsity team does that happen. And it just doesn't happen. Basketball doesn't necessarily have to be massive squads. So as you said, with only 5 starting positions on a basketball court, it can happen, but it is a rarity. It certainly is. But that bodes well for both of these teams that their youth is getting so many quality minutes.
Kate, they brought the clock over from Doyle Field. You know that clock that goes a lot faster than normally scheduled?
Oh, yeah.
3 minutes evaporated. So we are due.
Friends.
Thank you so much. Leominster and Shrewsbury tips off next. We'll get back to Kate Robbins in a little bit. Starting lineups, national anthem, and then it is tip-off. Leominster and Shrewsbury right here on RFM and in delay with our partners at Leominster TV. Stand by.
Fans, tonight's contest is sanctioned by the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, the Midland Wachusett League, and the competing institutions. Fans, join us as we back the NFHS initiative to bench bad behavior by positively supporting the hard work of student athletes, coaches, and contest officials. Be loud, be proud, be positive. Thank you. It's time now to meet tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the visiting Colonials from Shrewsbury. A senior, number 3, Eva McGregor. A senior, number 4, Jada Warburg. A freshman, number 5, Alina Eggleston. A junior, number 21, Amanda Kalinowski. And a sophomore, number 32, Josie Sawyer. The Colonials are coached by Nate Skinmark, assisted by Jewel White. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your Leominster Blue Devils. At center, a sophomore, number 1, Francesca Bello. A guard, number 2, a sophomore, Jada Caldwell. At guard, a sophomore, number 11, Mia Keenan. At forward, a junior, number 15, Kyra Forsberg. At guard, a junior, number 14, Nicole Kelly. At forward, a junior, number 44, Juliana Pompey. And a last-minute modification, at forward, a senior, number 21, Denham Gorham. The Bulldogs are coached by Rusty Frederick in his 5th season, assisted by Megan McNiff. Fans, we ask now you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America and those defending our freedom with the playing of our national anthem.
that, we're ready for basketball. Leominster and Shrewsbury on deck. Bill Thomas, the nice part about this broadcast is I get an opportunity to correct my errors and that of others. So I get a chance to fill in all the gaps here. So let's correct first my mistake, which was introduction-wise for Shrewsbury. McGregor, Eggleston, Kalinowski, Sawyer, 4 correct starters. And Utaro will also get the start tonight. Angelina Utaro, the junior, will be the starter tonight, not Warburton, whom I originally announced. And then on the Leominster side of things, well, you know, it's one of those things where you can only announce the names you have been handed. So here's the 5 that is going to take the floor. It's Forsberg, Keenan, and Pompey, along with Gorham and Caldwell. A slightly different starting 5. The first change to the starting 5 I've seen from Coach Frederick this year.
I think good move to get Gorham a start. Senior night, get her out there on the floor at the beginning of the game. Not usually a starter, comes off the bench, but give her some opening minutes.
And the tip is up and away it goes, and Leominster owns the control. Nice job by Caldwell. Find the lead, bounce pass, and bang it home. Did Forsberg, and off to the races quickly. Leominster's got themselves on the board 2-0.
You know, you always wonder what kind of first quarter, how soon before you can break the ice, and I see Leominster get it first 15 seconds.
And response comes down floor as McGregor pops 2 from the right elbow. And end-to-end goes the action here. And Bill Thomas, this is what I'm expecting throughout the night. And it will be interesting to see something that Coach Garamont had mentioned to me in our email exchange today, and that is the need for his team, as Pompey nails the turnaround from the paint, to do 2 things. 1, protect the ball and value their possession, so limit the number of turnovers, which is something they've been struggling with. But on the other side of the basketball, as Colonials come right down the floor and tie us again at 4, a minute gone by, is to mix and match on the defensive side of things. If they can successfully do that, bouncing back and forth, the question will be, can Leominster modify and adapt? The reverse lay-in doesn't go. Gorham, the follow-up. She draws the foul, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the Colonials continue to change up their defense, how the Lady Blue Devils handle that on the offensive end. But yeah, a couple of things Coach did point out. You know, turnovers has been a problem. I'd fully expect the Lady Blue Devils at some point to put a press on, try to create some chaos, and see how well the Colonials do handle that pressure, and if they can't create some turnovers.
Gorham's first rims out. 6:50 to play here in the opening quarter. Tied at 4, Colonials and Blue Devils tonight. Gorham at the line. First away. Second will fall. And Leominster has the 1-point advantage. It's McGregor, looked into the post, and Gorham separated the pass.
Nice job right there. Gorham all over the place early on.
Indeed.
That's a start. She's taking full advantage of it tonight.
And playing a little bit off of that emotion that, of course, comes on a senior night. Caldwell's shot is short of the mark. Now a battle for the rebound, and Gorham gets tied up on the follow-up action with Utaro. Alternate possession favors Colonials on the first.
Here comes that press I fully expected, Todd.
I was going to say, and
see how they handle it.
Leominster also loves to change their defenses, in particular going with that pressure after either a make or a miss.
And there's that turnover with the pressure.
And there's generation of said turnover. The outlet Forsberg finds Caldwell, who misses the wide open bunny.
Looked like the basketball had too much air in it.
Forsberg gets in the way and will draw the block call. Forsberg looked like she had won the kind of quest to the spot.
Yeah, she won the position battle, but didn't get the call. Might have shuffled her feet right at the last second. Officials with a better look at it than we did.
So the foul is on the floor, so they will have a spot in for the Colonials coming from the baseline. Eggleston finds the inbound for Utaro, bangs it right back, looking for Eggleston on the payoff, not able to complete the lay-in, out of bounds, turnover, back the other way goes the basketball. Still 5-4 basketball game, 5:50 to play here in the first. Keenan, inside Pompey, fakes baseline, turnaround, catches the underside of the rim, but got fouled on her way up.
Yeah, nice look inside. I'm happy to see the Lady Blue Devils working inside. I was a little concerned they might get 3-point happy. was it, I think Pompey had 5 3-pointers in the first quarter the other night. Let me double check my facts here, Todd, before I get too
hits the
stat
first.
happy.
And Leominster's lead is 2 here in the early going.
Yeah, Juliana Pompey had
missed the lay-in.
No, it was Mia Keenan, actually.
Follow-on action. Forsberg finds Gorham, and Gorham with the lay-in good. Leominster has doubled up their lead. It's 8-4, and Coach Scaramont says time to take a time out. 5:34 to play in the first. 8-4 Leominster's lead, and early on, the pressure from Leominster off those makes in the full court is separating the basketball and creating transition difficulties for the Colonials.
Yeah, a couple of turnovers, some disruption there, leading an out-of-bounds play. But I like what I'm seeing so far early on. Now, I wasn't sure how the scoring was going to work out going up and down the court, but now that Leominster has kind of found its way the last couple of games, I started to touch on they had 8 3-pointers and 9 3-pointers in the 2 games respectively. And it's not just from one player. Mia Keenan had a number of 3-pointers, but the rest of the team's been chipping in also. But it's really going to be about, I think, that defense in the turnover game. Whoever wins the turnover game gets those extra possessions.
Indeed. 5:34 to play in the opening quarter. Leominster the 8-4 advantage. And thus far, I would say, coming on a back-to-back night, haven't seen any ill effects or any sort of low-key play. That game actually started a little later last night than apparently was originally scheduled from what I was to understand watching the broadcast. And then, of course, ran a little long. Then the long trip back home in the weather for Leominster from Sharon. But all in all, thus far, don't look any worse for wear. Colonials with the basketball out of the timeout, cycling the outside. Swing, drive, Eggleston. Kick, Utaro, back to McGregor. McGregor got tied up with Keenan, and she thought she was going to be able to get away with that one by just kind of pulling her hand out at the last second. Was hooked up with the offensive player. Eggleston whistle off, second foul, first against Keenan. Inbound, Sawyer from the left block, puts the ball on the deck. Into a
nice
double team.
Yeah,
Pompey and Gorham combined for the double team.
Gorham showed up just at the right time.
And did something that a second defender is usually not able to do, avoided making contact. That 3-pointer off the mark. Pompey with the rebound, up floor. Keenan! Foul comes from the trail, and 2 shots coming up.
Nice job looking for that streaking player down court. Releasing on the shot right there, getting ahead of the pack. Good look down court, too, to get the ball to her.
Shade under 5 minutes, 4:53 to play here in quarter one, and an 8-4 Leominster advantage. Keenan at the line for her first 2 of the night.
How about Gorham all over the place tonight in this first quarter?
Indeed.
Really, taking advantage of that senior recognition and getting herself up and down the score sheet.
And she is kind of epitomizing what we had talked about as it relates to her style of play. It is a more physical style of play, and it certainly is just a little bit different enough that it poses a challenge from the other types of players, typically a finesse style of play. This is a much more physical, get in your face, make contact, tie players up, and again, learning to play a more disciplined action. Meanwhile, the bodies hit the floor, and it's a walk at the point of attack. Picked up the pivot foot.
Yeah, Gorham on the defense right there. No place for the ball handler to go. Drag that pivot foot.
I thought for sure Bill Thomas, the whistle was going to come from the pinball going on
all
off
the ball and give Gorham credit for creating that travel, and there she is.
Gorham up for the lay-in, draws the foul. She's going to the line for 2. 4th foul whistled against Shrewsbury at just about the halfway point of quarter one to 2 against Leominster, a 9-4 Leominster advantage, and Gorham at the line.
One thing we like to look at is common opponents, Todd, and didn't get to touch on it pregame, but 3 common opponents. Both the games against Wachusett, kind of a blowout. Wachusett beat them both. They both played Fitchburg. They both handled Fitchburg handily, a blowout win for both teams. And the Algonquin common opponent, Leominster won by 1, and I believe Shrewsbury lost by 2. So you look at the common opponents, it doesn't really tell you much. They performed equally against all 3 of them.
It's one of my favorite, announcer frames, Bill Thomas, the transitive property of sport. We go to the floor, tie up, alternate possession. Leominster will get the basketball.
Yeah, I mean, the stats don't lie sometimes, and you can kind of read a lot in what history tells you. And, we'll see how that plays out tonight. But Leominster doing a good job here in this first quarter.
Can finally say we have wound down to the halfway point of quarter number 1. We were sailing and then all of a sudden got caught in the mire of whistles. Forsberg's 3 stays in play off the top of the backboard. And up floor come the Colonials. Zutaro finds McGregor leading the break. Deflected by both Sawyer and Forsberg. And the whistle will favor Shrewsbury. And a whistle and a nice hand for Gorham as she will grab a seat. Frankie Bello assumes her normal position on the floor. Bounce into the corner. Eggleston dribbles out of trouble, comes to Utaro at the top of the key. Back to Eggleston. The flash. Down the lane it was McGregor. Gives it up to the jumper. Will not go out there on the floor, and Bill Thomas, it's another night. Kalinowski will find the shot opportunity. I believe we had Kalinowski listed as a starter, didn't actually make the start tonight as McGregor goes to the hole strong, draws the foul, basket +1 coming up.
Yeah, I threw a little wrench into both starting lineups to you, Todd, but we got them.
Indeed we did. They have not put the 2 points on the board, but it is a 10-6 game. We've got it. And the follow-on point after, not able to go for McGregor. Follow-on action, Leominster gets in the space of Eggleston, who gets bumped to the ground. Foul will be on the floor.
So Forsberg, her second of the contest.
And all of a sudden, fouls are looking more even at 4 apiece. Substitutions, Forsberg will head out with the 2 fouls. Sabina Marwa into the game for Leominster. Warburton swings, finds McGregor, takes the long 2.
Nice job with the extra pass right there.
And don't look now, Shrewsbury is within 2, 3:20 to play here in the first. Keenan with the bounce for Bello. Bello long way away from the basket. Sets a screen for Keenan. Keenan drives into a triple team. Kick Marwa. Open baseline float. Will not go. Battle for the baseline. Marwa runs down her own rebound. Cues up Boulay. 3 does not go. Rims out. Juggled rebound. And it is settled by Warburton to Kalinowski.
Ball pinballing all over the place.
Up floor, that pass from Utaro caught the fingertips of Eggleston, but she wasn't able to reel it in. An unforced error there. 2:50 and counting to play here in quarter 1, and 10-8. Leominster's lead is down to 2. Keenan, drive, corner Boulay. Screen. Boulay now will drop it off. Pompey, drive left elbow. Kick Keenan, an open 3. No spin on that ball. Comes up short on the rim. Loose to the floor. Tie up. Shrewsbury basketball.
Blue Devils falling into a little perimeter passing situation here, but not very productive on getting a good look, except for way too far away from the basket, Todd.
Nice recognition there by Pompey on the substitution. She matched up against the taller player on the floor. She is Leominster's second tallest on the floor, but she grabbed the tallest available player nearby and made a switch off Marwa to a guard as now Marwa runs the floor. Marwa stops, swings through Pompey, corner Boulay, comes back, bounce pass. Pompey in the lane, tries the scoop shot. She got caught under the rim, but she got bumped off the play by Biss. And it'll send her to the line for 2, excuse me.
Good looking pass, though, to get her in position to go for that scoop shot. Did get hacked, gets herself a couple of foul shots, but I love the way they work in the ball inside. That's really a key to success, Todd.
Pompey short of the mark. And Nicole Kelly will check into the basketball game to spell.
Good rotation. I
Keenan.
noticed the last couple of games have been rotating 8, 10, even 11 players, and it's nice to see all the kids getting some playing time, even wins.
That one won't go. 0 of 2, an open trip for Leominster as Pompey struggles at the line. Kalinowski over the timeline, bouncing into the corner, find Biss. Biss right back to Kalinowski on a little give and go. Off the window doesn't go. Right. The follow-on for Warburton doesn't go, but third time's the charm as Kalinowski will hit the lay-in, and we're tied at 10. 1:45 and counting to play here in quarter one. Kelly down the lane, the runner, back rim will not go, baseline. It is corralled by Warburton. She will outlet for Biss, and down the floor she comes from right to left. Biss changes direction through the middle of the paint, scoops it up on the glass, too strong. Bello the rebound. And in transition, Marwa takes it straight to the double team, gets cross-body blocked with no call. Pompey to Bello. Bello, triple threat, jab step back, jumper, and down it goes.
Nice right there, about a little more than a foul shot, about an 18-footer.
Final minute 8 here of quarter number 1. Leominster pressures the basketball with the double team. Up for Biss, breaks for Kalinowski. Bello slides over, absorbs contact, and it's an offensive foul called against Kalinowski, and she was in disbelief.
Good job by Bello, recognized the offensive player heading towards the basket, established her position firmly that time and never gave it up.
57.5 seconds left in quarter 1. Leominster's lead just 2. And what we did expect, Bill Thomas, that has come true to this point. It has been a low-scoring basketball game to this point.
Yeah, both teams, finding their way to just enough points to keep it interested, but both on their way to 50 at this point, Todd.
Bello finds Kelly, swing Marwa. Right block jumper, doesn't go. Rolls over the rim, and the rebound comes down for Eggleston. Eggleston taking on 4 Blue Devils on her own, now separates out to Boulay. But a 10-second differential, shot clock and game clock, as Warburton takes the off-balance shot. Battle for the basketball to the floor. Pompey outlet, find Marwa. And Leominster in transition from left to right. Pompey, open baseline. Bello hacked from behind. And Bello goes to the line to shoot 2 as Keely Kerr has a word with Warburton.
Good job there. Once again, working the ball inside. And don't get the basket, but get a couple of shots from the foul line, and the fouls are adding up on the Shrewsbury side. Leominster will be shooting the rest of the way this half.
And Bello's first is short of the mark, and that is where Leominster could have expanded this lead in this first quarter, Bill Thomas,
yeah,
and it's been at the line where they've come up dry.
Foul line is letting them down.
Bello takes another open trip, another 0 of 2 trip. Shot clock off. Final 15 seconds of the first. The up floor, Marwa steps in between 2 Colonials for the takeaway. Finds Lemansky for Kelly. 7 seconds. Now 5. Kelly takes the long jumper for 2. Won't go. Long rebound. Still 2 seconds on the clock. Last shot for Lemansky, and Bello tried to pinball it home, and it will not fall. That's how quarter number 1 will come to a close here inside the gym at Leominster High School on a Friday night here on RFM. Leominster 12 and Shrewsbury 10 through 1. Great to have you along with us, whether you're joining us live on YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch tonight here on RFM, or in delay with our partners at Leominster TV. Bradley Bedard joins us from Leominster TV tonight, high above, bringing you the pictures of this senior night here at the gym at Leominster High School. 12-10 Leominster through 1. Kate Robbins standing by at RFM HQ. She's got your look at your first quarter stats, Kate.
I certainly do. And Bill Thomas, you are spot on as always. Leominster from the line in the first quarter was 4 of 11. 4 of 11. So talk about leaving points out there to be able to go and get after, and they're not taking advantage of it. Right now, that's been the difference maker. Leominster's defense continues to be excellent, but they're not taking advantage when they're getting freebies and free opportunities to put points on the board.
That's a great point, Kate, and that is sort of what we expected those numbers to sound like.
That's the stat of the quarter. Only 4 for 11 from the line, and I'm sure Rusty's not going to be too happy when he looks at that stat at halftime. They will be shooting the rest of the way too, Todd, so could be a difference maker long term here, especially in the second quarter.
Inbound coming at midcourt. Colonials will have the basketball as the second 8 minutes take to the board. They'll continue from right to left, wearing the navy over navy, all trimmed in Vegas gold. Vegas gold numerals, front and back, Colonials on the nameplate in the back, and Kalinowski pops the left wing jumper, and down it goes. Tied at 12, we are just 15 seconds left here into the second quarter. Yeah, I'll get that right, Bill Thomas. Trapped at the midcourt, the turnaround. Yeah, there's Marwa. Back down floor. Marwa, lay-in won't go. Battle rebound, Kelly, and dribbled out of trouble by Utaro. Up floor finds Kalinowski. Lane jumper. Too strong off glass. Sawyer the rebound, but tied up with Lemanski. Both to the floor, and the arrow says Leominster.
Good job right there. When you hold the ball up over your head, you're exposing it up there. You start to bring it down a little, but don't do anything with it, and all of a sudden every hand that's within reach is on it.
7:15 and counting to play here in the second quarter of a 12-all basketball game. Kelly takes the bounce over to Caldwell, and right back cross for Kelly. In for Bello. Bello got away with a walk. Instead, it's a tie-up. Ball back to Shrewsbury.
And I think she got away with a double dribble before that, Todd. A couple of dribbles, then she picked it up and turned the other way and started dribbling. But to no avail, Shrewsbury gets it on the alternate possession.
Just a minute into this second quarter, tied at 12, and if you are Coach Nate Scaremont coming in with a 2-8 basketball team, you got to feel awfully good with where you are in this contest. Drive down the lane, it's Utaro. That one won't go. Kalinowski runs down the loose ball rebound. That won't go. Tap on the rebound to Kelly. And Kelly pirouettes out of trouble, and up floor she comes from left to right. She finds it open. Caldwell, 3, and down it goes. Leominster's first triple of the night represents the first triple of the night. Take a 3-point lead at 15-12, 6.5 to play here in the second quarter.
Yeah, once again, last two games they've had 8 and 9 respectively from three-point land.
Kalinowski bullets that one back toward Eggleston, caught her knee. It ends up back in a pile, tie up. Leominster basketball on the whistle in the alternate possession. 6:17 to play, second quarter. 15-12, Leominster's lead. Billy, I'm still thinking about that stat. 4 of 11 from the line for Leominster, leaving a significant number of points out there.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that comes back to haunt them later on as this game winds down.
Imagine what a 7-point addition would look like on the Leominster side of things in the first. Nice job by Sawyer to clear out the wing. Got the rebound and then got bodied down. Ball rolls out of play off of Bello, and Shrewsbury will keep the basketball.
They'll battling for that offensive rebound to no avail.
31 to shoot on this possession. Still going to bring it over half. 5:45 to play, second quarter. Utaro goes over the top, finds Biss in the front court. Biss now with the right baseline drive. Pulls it back out, goes all the way back to the top of the key. Caldwell breaks it up. Loose ball to the floor, still loose. Rolling over with it is McGregor. Finds Biss, and the bodies will step back up. Keenan is slow to get back up, and now that will draw a whistle from the officials, which will stop play with 7 on the shot clock.
Good job right there, though. Girls first. Stop the action.
And so a substitute will have to come into the game. Keenan will go to the sideline and see the medical staff.
Pompey off the bench takes in place.
Back into the basketball game.
7 seconds to shoot, Todd.
I know, tough time for that type of a whistle. It's Biss, drive, foul line, kick back, McGregor, corner back to Biss, short of the mark. Wouldn't have gotten the reset, would have been a violation. Instead, it's Lemanski with the loose ball rebound.
Glad they held the buzzer there and confused the girls.
No kidding. Up floor, find Caldwell on the second cue. 3 doesn't go. Loose ball comes to Utaro, and she'll transition up floor for Biss. Biss finds Kalinowski on Bello. Jumper, scrapes glass, and down it goes.
Not much else Bella could do right there. Good hands-up defense, trying to maintain a possession, but to no avail.
Corner, this is Forsberg. Inside Pompey. Bounce it back out, Lemanski. Lemanski over into the corner. Find Caldwell. Caldwell back for Lemanski. Inside feed Bello. Back out for Caldwell, and they play catch on the right wing. Bello caught on the baseline. Nice job by Sawyer to pin her in there.
They're working
8 to shoot. Shot does catch rim. Leominster will get a fresh 35. Bello sets up Forsberg, 3, doesn't go. Rebound down for Kalinowski and Bill Thomas. Another dry possession.
Yeah, good job.
Kalinowski dipped the shoulder, signaled offensive foul, and then the official overruled himself and turned the charge into a block. Basket good.
Coach Frederick's not happy with that call, whether the official changed it or not.
And with good reason, and Coach Frederick speaks his mind.
Giving the official more than just a piece of his mind, giving him most of it, still looking for an explanation over on the far side. Does give Shrewsbury the lead. I believe it's the first lead they've had, Todd.
16-15, and Kalinowski's at the line.
It was a 4-4 game early, but I don't believe Shrewsbury's had the lead tonight until now.
That one will not go. Battle for the rebound. Still loose. Pompey gets in on the tie-up, and the arrow will stay Navy and Vegas gold.
Shrewsbury picking up an extra possession here off of that missed foul shot.
And what was seemingly
a
Bill
4-point
Thomas.
trip.
I mean, potentially what, a
Could have
5-point swing on the board?
A 3-pointer would definitely make that a 5-point swing, and Coach Frederick's still not happy with that change call.
Can't blame him. It's Biss to the foul line. The double dribble, and we'll go back the other way.
Good job. I think it looked like Caldwell bothering her there and was unsure of her dribble, picked it up, and a half palm, half travel there in between the indecision. Still looking inside. They're trying to get it into Bello.
Indeed.
Pompey, though.
Yeah, from the wing, takes the jumper, won't go. Rebound down, whistle goes off. And Leominster's whistle for a push on the clear out.
So I guess they're going to have trouble getting into Bello, seeing she's been subbed out, and I just noticed that. It's not a 1. It's a 15 under there. That's my oopsie for the night, Todd.
Don't worry, we've had plenty. Another
nice defense
night with
there.
the quarter being wrong. But here we go now. Second quarter on our board. And it's Marwa with the steal. Down floor gets the underside of the rim. Biss goes down on the play. Loose ball out to Taro, and then Biss over half court from right to left. 3.5 to play, second quarter. The lead for the Colonials is 1 at 16-15.
Turnover, good hands-up defense in the corner.
Indeed, it's Caldwell. Drive, lay-in, doesn't fall. Now the rebound. Boulay gets tied up. Drew Manzi, the sophomore, into the game, causing the tie-up, and the alternate possession now goes the way of the blue and white. Caldwell through Pompey and to Boulay. Caldwell now coming in, bounds, and the thought was go right back to her for the 3, and it's through her hands and out of play.
Turnover starting to mount up on both sides.
Utaro goes middle of the floor, finds the comeback for Riley Flynn, the junior, into the game. Utaro draws a double team, swing off, touch inside, Flynn lays it up, and it is good.
Nice job avoiding Pompey there.
18-15. Swing, this is Forsberg. Back for Caldwell, now to Forsberg. Inside Boulay, the lay-in will go.
There we go. I like the way they keep looking inside, Todd.
And Coach Frederick will spend the timeout at the 2:45 mark of the second quarter. 18-17, Leominster back within 1. And Kate, standing by at RFM HQ, you're looking at the numbers, Kate, and what stands out to you? How do you explain this turnaround?
Right here we have a situation where Shrewsbury is out-rebounding Leominster significantly, almost 2-1, but they're also turning the ball over an exponential amount of more times than Leominster. Right now for Shrewsbury, they're only getting offensive production from Flynn and from Kalinowski here in the second quarter. They had help from McGregor in the first, but right now McGregor has gone cold here in the second quarter. Only baskets for Leominster here in the second are Caldwell and Boulay. Once again, Leominster's defense has been credible, but their offense has been stagnant once again, and it's kind of been the name of the game. And as we said, that 4 of 11 performance from the line from Leominster in the first quarter is going to continue potentially to be the storyline here if they can't get the freebies turned around.
No question, Kate. Thank you so much.
And I don't think they've been to the line in the second quarter, Todd, so they haven't been able to take advantage of that foul advantage.
I was going to say, when they picked up the 7th foul, they have not shot a 1-and-1 opportunity because that 7th foul was a shooting foul. They got 2 shots.
Yeah, I believe you're right, Todd.
Which tells you something about sort of where they've been at. It's Utaro. Cross the 3-point arc, drop it off for Caroline Biss. Back for Utaro. Utaro drive into triple team, kick back Flynn. Flynn over Forsberg. Shot doesn't fall. Loose to the floor. Marwa's got it. Down floor, it's Caldwell who leans into the body against Biss. No call, no whistle. Out of play, and Leominster will keep the basketball.
A lot going on over there.
13 fouls whistled in the game. You see a player dip the shoulder, you would presume that would go the way of the charge.
Yeah, I thought Marwa was going to get something there one way or the other.
And
I love her aggressiveness around the basket, though, Todd. She's no quit. Continues to drive right there again.
And the floater this time will go.
Good.
Leominster reclaims its lead at 19-18 as we go under 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter.
She's not afraid to absorb contact. Not always successful with it, but right there gets one to fall.
Taro brings the ball over half. Caldwell knocks it loose. Boulay to the floor. And, yeah, not able to reel it in, but nice hustle by Boulay and Caldwell trying to combine for the turnover.
Quick hands right there, disrupt the dribble.
Taro needs some help. She'll find it inbound. It's Flynn. Flynn has it taken away by Forsberg. For Boulay, find Caldwell. Can't get the handle into the floor. Back for Pompey. Pompey to the right elbow. Cue up a Boulay 3 from straight away. Won't go. Pompey, a one-handed rebound, and then an immediate pass out to Forsberg. 3 does not go. Caldwell's follow-on shot does not go either, and it's another open-ended possession for Leominster.
3 good looks, too. None of them to fall.
1:15 and counting to play in the second quarter, and the good news on that possession is Leominster gets a few more slashes on Kate's score sheet in the rebounding game, which, as she pointed out at the last stoppage, has been a place where Leominster has struggled in this first half. Caldwell creates another turnover to Boulay, back to Caldwell, who peels off the break. Goes Forsberg to Pompey jumper, front rim no, and the rebound down for Warburton. And then Marwa, the steal on the interior pass, and Marwa the lay-in.
Good job by Marwa right there. Never giving up. Pays off.
40 seconds and counting to play here in the second quarter, and a bad giveaway by the Colonials after creating the turnover. And back down floor. It's Biss to Biss. Right back to Biss. The jumper from the right elbow does not go short, and Forsberg's got the rebound. Shot clock off, final 25 seconds before halftime. It's Boulay, the left wing jumper. Too strong, right into the hands of Warburton.
She didn't get the memo about the shot clock.
Indeed. Up floor, Biss finds Biss. Handle lost. And Coach Frederick dissatisfied with the whistle and the result once again. Final 14 2/10 before the break. Standing by, Kate Robbins will have your complete first half recap, plus a preview of second half action. All that coming up here on RFM and with our partners at Leominster TV. Final 8 seconds here. Now 5. Break up, loose ball, stolen, no. Warburton gets the turnaround, it won't go. And action will putter to the half. Halftime score here inside the gym at Leominster High School. It's Leominster 21 and Shrewsbury 18.
And somehow Leominster, I think, found its way to the final 6 points of that quarter after falling behind 18-15, Todd. I tell you, back and forth. Shrewsbury found its way to his first lead, couldn't hold on to it, and really the product of turnovers is what got the Leominster back to lead. Leading into halftime.
There's a phrase going through my head right now, Bill Thomas, when I think about both sides, and that is, the struggle is real. And that is where that first half sort of was at points for both teams. Halftime score here inside the gym at Leominster High School tonight. It's Leominster 21 and Shrewsbury 18. To the locker room go the teams. We step aside. When we come back, Kate Robbins will have your first half stats, plus we preview second half action. All that and more as we continue. You're watching high school basketball right here on RFM. Halftime here inside the gym at Leominster High School. It's Leominster 21 and Shrewsbury 18. Interesting first half of play here inside the gym, to say the least. Back to our courtside broadcast position. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas returning right there into your picture. Kate Robbins back at RFM HQ will join us here live tonight. Whether you're joining us on YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch, it's great to have you along with us here on senior night here inside the gym at Leominster High School. 21-18, Leominster on top of Shrewsbury at the half. Welcome Kate Robbins back in from headquarters tonight. And Kate, 21-18, Leominster ends up on the right side of the scoreboard at the conclusion of that first half, but it wasn't without its struggles on both sides.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't a pretty half, no matter what color you were wearing out there. The stats bear that out. There are a few bright spots here and there, particularly the rebounding action for Shrewsbury as a team. 24 rebounds, not too shabby on their part, but other than that, scoring pretty stagnant on both sides. Leominster has quite a few people that have contributed to the stat sheet, but nothing has really been significant. If somebody was active in the first quarter, they were fairly inactive in the second quarter, so they've not really been able to get a rhythm going. And like we've been chronicling from the get-go, they're leaving a lot of free opportunities out on the floor. Again, the number that sticks out, they had no trips to the line in the second quarter, so that 4 of 11 from the line remains the stat line right now.
Indeed, it does, and that is certainly something that stands out to me as you kind of look at the performances across the board. Kate, before we get, kind of hurrying along, give us the individual breakdown on the numbers.
All right, let's first take a look at the Blue Devils side of the ball. 17 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 turnovers. 4 of 11 as a team from the line. Individual contributions, Bello with 2 points, Caldwell with 3, Boulay with 2, Marwa with 4, Keenan with 1, Forsberg with 2, Gorham with 4 points, and Pompey with 3 points. Interestingly enough, Pompey kept scoreless in the second quarter for the Blue Devils. On the flip side, team totals first, Shrewsbury, 24 rebounds, no steals, 12 turnovers. 0 of 2 from the line are the Colonials thus far in the first half of play. And if we take a look at their individual scoring contributions, McGregor has 6 points, Flynn with 2, Utaro with 2, and then Kalinowski with a team high 8 points. She had 4 points in each of the first 2 quarters of play. And sorry about that, Patrick has found some of the buttons on some of his toys. So we're singing along with the Hess train, everybody.
Love it.
Had no idea, Kate, I'll be honest with you.
Oh, good.
It's awesome. I can imagine what it looks like. So there you have it as well. And Bill Thomas, you heard what Kate said there, and she reemphasized that again. Leominster 4 of 11 from the line. They were 4 of 11 from the line after 1 quarter. They had the bonus with about 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. That means they were not only unable to capitalize on 7 points worth of free throws, but they were unable to capitalize on a quarter plus of bonus opportunity for a free throw every time the whistle went off. They didn't draw a foul in the second quarter.
Yeah, and there was a lot of action, especially under the Leominster basket. Mawa a number of times absorbing contact. I tell you, she was a buzzsaw under the basket down both sides of the lane. Found her way to a couple of hoops towards the end of that quarter, but she was all over the place, even on defensive end, creating steals, good hands-up defense, but not getting the calls. And you would expect a couple of trips to the free throw line for the Lady Blue Devils at least, but they came up empty in that second quarter. Not that they could have taken advantage of it, but you would have liked to have seen them had a couple of shots at it.
And that, of course, will probably end up being quite the story of the first half. The question is, can you surmount that? And I mean, at a 21-18 score, Leominster's lead is a single possession, which means that we are essentially dead even once again as you begin this next half of basketball.
Yeah, I think the key was the last couple of minutes there. Leominster found himself down by 3, scored the last 6 points of the quarter, but really that was driven off a turnover. It seemed like every time down the court, good hands-up defense were leading to balls being deflected and turnovers and opportunities down in the Leominster end. Found a way to 6 points during that chaotic time. Got the lead back going into half, but they need to find a way to build on it.
upcoming action here on RFM after a end of January hiatus. We're back with you here inside the gym at Leominster High School for the run to the playoffs. It's Tuesday, February the 7th. Our next action, the boys take center stage as Leominster plays host to Wachusett. Pre-show on the air at 6:45, 7 o'clock the tip-off here inside the gym at Leominster High School. Live with you on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch on that Tuesday night. Leominster TV with us in delay as well. That's action ahead after a hiatus here in the last couple of weeks of January, but that's action ahead. We've got more action for you right now in the second half. Third quarter underway. Colonials with the basketball going left to right. They are half court right. This is Sawyer. Fake inside, turn baseline, shot short, got a rebound, second opportunity, draws the foul and will go to the line.
I think that might go on Gorham.
I believe it does.
Getting the start here in the second half.
And Sawyer's first, short of the mark. Second opportunity for Sawyer. That one hard in and out. Kalinowski got the rebound, though, and the Colonials get another opportunity on this trip down the floor. The drive to the lane for Eggleston is short of the mark, and the loose ball finds its way into the hands of Caldwell. Caldwell to Keenan. Good to see her back in the game. Tried to bullet a pass and got deflected by McGregor out of play. 30 seconds into this third quarter, we're stuck at our halftime score. It's 21-18, Leominster on top. Pompey got the inbound, spun, thought about it, and then got called for the walk, and she's still relatively confused as to what happened. She spun, there's no doubt, but did her pivot foot come up? That will be the question. And
Official did a little demonstration over there, so he had it.
A little soft shoe act. This is McGregor. McGregor to Taro. Taro draws the screen on the double team, though, on the switch. Into the corner, though, came out for Kalinowski, who battles for a lay-in. And I think if you're Coach Nate Scaramon, as we are a minute into this third quarter, you need more Kalinowski. She's come up with big baskets in key situations for Shrewsbury.
I agree. Keep working it inside to her.
Keenan's three is well short of the mark. Caldwell the rebound, though. Loads her up again. This is a long two. It won't go. Now Sawyer falls to the floor while fielding the rebound.
Gorham.
And Gorham comes over the top for the tie-up. Gorham not, no shy flower there, no fading flower.
She looks like she was swimming her way through that, through the bodies to get that ball. Great job, though, control the inbounds.
Not afraid to get involved with a physical altercation. Ties up, Leominster gets the ball. Keenan's three is short of the mark. She will take another opportunity. Leominster has one three-point basket tonight.
They especially, we expected more after the last two games, 17 the last two games, but coming up short tonight.
Gorham got stripped from behind. Utaro on the run out.
That's a travel.
Traveled with it. Tried to throw on the brakes and couldn't.
A little dipsy-do there at the end, but we'll give defense credit right there. Blocked her path and then took a decision away.
21-20, Leominster's lead is one and comes without a second half basket. 2 minutes into this third quarter. It's Forsberg into the corner, Keenan. Keenan bullets a pass to Gorham. Takes a little elbow from McGregor. And Marwah will check in for Gorham.
That's McGregor's second. Team first here in the second half.
Caldwell swinging around, Marwah to the corner, Caldwell. Pompey got some separation, sliced down the lane, and her shot will not fall, but it will go as a foul, and two shots coming up here, and she's trying to stretch out the thigh. She took a knee to it.
Looked like her right thigh absorbed that contact.
That one is short of the mark. 5:52 to play here in the third.
4 for 12.
And Leominster still looking for their first points of the third quarter. There it is. Pompey gets that one to go down, brings Leominster's lead back to 2 at 22-20.
5 for 13. I'm going to try to keep track of that math, Todd. Kate's much better at it than me.
Down floor. The drive. McGregor stripped to the floor. Tie up. Colonial basketball. 5:39 to play here in the third, and a 22-20 lead for Leominster. Straight line stack. Eggleston breaks inbound. Utaro tried to go back to Eggleston, stepping in bounds, and Forsberg steps in. Able to get the outlet out for Marois through Pompey. Caldwell takes a three and splash.
No hesitation that time.
And Leominster's lead is 5 at 25-20.
Marois with the pressure. She's playing great defense tonight, Todd.
Indeed,
She's
she is.
everywhere.
McGregor tried to respond with a three, doesn't go, but Kalinowski, the one-handed rebound, battles back through a double team to get the shot up. She's fouled and is going to the line to shoot two. A classic mid-watch basketball battle tonight, and
that's going to be on Forsberg, and that's her third, Todd. I think it's going to force Coach Fredericks to go to the bench.
And he'll have to bring Bello back into the basketball game. Kalinowski's first is too strong, and Bill Thomas has all the tools to be a successful post player for Leominster. Just got to get used to playing with her back to the basket. That has been the 2-year kind of building project, is you got to get used to playing that low block and playing with your back to the basket.
Yeah, she just got to find a spot and then get comfortable with it and learn how to spin, and she'll find success.
Kalinowski goes 0 of 2.
Only a sophomore. What do we got? What happened?
Appears that Caldwell stepped out of play because she did not go over and back. She only went in one direction.
I didn't get that. Must have caught the baseline.
Say neither coach really did either. Here's Sawyer. Got the inbound, and quickly we're going the other way. It's McGregor. Half court to the right. Under 5 to play here in the third at 4:45 and counting.
Wow, we're in a pocket.
Indeed, and Eggleston's shot is under the rim. Loose ball comes out. McGregor and bodies to the floor. And the whistle, and it is alternate possession Leominster basketball. A very physical, and thus far as the second half has begun, Bill Thomas, an out-of-control physical basketball game.
And it's keeping a low scoring right now on both sides.
At some point, something has to be a foul. The battle for the rebound is loose. Kalinowski rips it loose, and down floor she comes. Tries to complete. Gets tied up by Caldwell. Kept it alive. Flipped it back inbounds into the hands of Pompey, and we go the other way. It's Caldwell into Pompey. Turn around on Sawyer, and Sawyer makes the contact, and Pompey's got 2 from the line.
Nice job by Caldwell, pulling that out and then recognizing Pompey, flashing down the line, and getting herself a good spot, gets herself to the foul line. 5 for 15. Let's see, what are we at? 5 for 13 right now, Todd?
I rely on Kate for those numbers. First one does not go.
14.
Kate Robbins standing by at RFM HQ. Kate, help Bill Thomas out with the numbers.
5 for 14, Kate. Should wait until after this one.
No, 5 for 14 thus far.
6 for 15.
0 of 2 on that
She
trip,
made
and
the second
Pompey
one.
out of the. Oh, that one did go down. Excuse
That
me.
one went
Thank you.
down. Pressure once again.
And up floor, here it comes.
Got to get back, though. Got to play Can't forget to play defense.
This is Caroline Biss. The foul line kick finds Aaron Biss. Inside Kalinowski. Creates some space, got the shot up, and no finish there. Caldwell the rebound, and Kalinowski struggles here in the third quarter. Keenan's jumper is short of the mark. Bello got the rebound.
Thought
For
about
Caldwell,
going back up.
now back, and catch continues between Bello and Caldwell.
I like that, though. You get the defense turning their heads.
Gets cleared out by Sawyer off Keenan's miss, and the rebound run down by Aaron Biss.
Bello blocked out away from that play, too. Good job by Shrewsbury.
Biss through the lane, comes up with the scoop, missed everything. Bodies to the floor, no whistles. Shot is short off the side rim, and now the tie-up. Alternate possession is Shrewsbury basketball. 3:17 and counting to play here in the third, 26-20. Leominster's advantage. Blue Devils 5 second-half points. Colonials 2 second-half points. The inbound bounce taken away by Marwa. Up floor to Kelly, newly back into the game. Kalinowski waves wildly, enough to bother the shot, and the loose ball is run down by Biss. Biss finds Kalinowski, middle of the floor. Down, finds Eggleston. The pass tried to connect, got deflected out of play. That was Riley Flynn cutting through the paint, but was last touched by Leominster. And Shrewsbury will keep the basketball. 27 to shoot and 3:01 to play here in the third.
Good job by Bello getting back on defense there.
Pass inbound. It's Eggleston. Find Biss. Lost the handle. Rolls loose. Down the lane. Shot does not go for Biss. It was deflected out of play. And Shrewsbury will keep the basketball again. A third reset on the possession. 19 to shoot. 3:01 to play here in the third. The inbound. Biss for Kalinowski. Kalinowski gets taken off her feet. Now the tie-up, pushing, shoving, elbows after the whistle, and alternate possession will go to Leominster.
How quick is Marwa, though? Just jumped right in there and created that chaos.
I'm not one for a lot of foul whistles, Bill Thomas, and it was proven
It's
the other
about
night.
time, though,
you
right?
can play a clean basketball game without having a million fouls. The problem is at this point, an unchecked, uncontrolled physical basketball game is leading to exactly what we saw after that whistle, which is people throwing elbows and kicking each other. Some point, you got to manage the game with the whistle. The jumper won't go for Rosado, side rim, and Kalinowski the rebound. The run back down floor into the play, and there's the whistle. Kelly called for the reach in, got more arm than ball.
Chasing the ball handle there when you start reaching from behind. A lot of times that's what you're going to get his arm.
Foul will be on the floor. Colonials will have the inbound, and Eggleston sees a box stack in front of her. Screens deploy. Caroline Biss, the jumper from the right wing, is long of the mark, and Bello runs down the loose ball. Up floor. That was Caldwell. From Marwa back to Caldwell. Back rim, no. Kelly tried to crash. Biss in position for the rebound. Leominster immediately to the pressure. Outlet, Biss to Biss. Aaron Biss goes long cross court looking for Flynn, and it's out of play. Ball back to Leominster.
High and hot. Substitution.
Pompey back in. Bello gets a spell. Under 2 minutes to play here in the third. Marwa and Caldwell playing catch. Now swing Rosado, newly into the game at the last stoppage. Rosado. Little shoulder feint, drop it off Marwa. That's a walk. Ball goes back the other way.
Looking down the lane, just didn't get the ball on the court quick enough, but I still like the idea. Stay aggressive.
Substitutions as Coach Scaremont looks for the right combination here. Boulay,
What do we got?
as the ball was put back into play, had stepped out onto the floor.
I'm making a substitution. Other official wasn't ready for the ball to be put in play yet. Still working with the bench.
So a few seconds trickled off the clock. 1:42 to play here in the third. Lead is Leominster +6 at 26-20. Fouls 3 aside.
Caldwell, tough defense all the way out.
Indeed. Eliza Nickerson, into the basketball game. Made the
Caldwell
entry
creates a
pass.
turnover.
Indeed, into the floor. Tie up. Shrewsbury basketball.
Yeah, right there. I don't know if that was a tie-up, Todd. The girl reached around the back. There's got to be some grabbing going on there. You know, you tie up face-to-face, but when you come around the back, it's time for a whistle.
Especially when nobody possesses the ball.
Exactly.
1:20 to play here in the third.
That's because arms are getting ripped off it.
Eggleston, for Nickerson. Bouncing inbound Warburton. Down the lane, deflected. Nickerson runs down the loose ball. She gets taken off her feet. Tie up. Ball goes to Leominster.
Little different situation right there, ball on the floor. But you're right, Todd. At some point, these can't just be tie-ups. Somebody's got to pay the price.
Final minute here in the third. Low-scoring third quarter as offenses have ground to a halt. Pompey's jumper was off the mark short. Warburton rebound. Outlet finds its way to Eggleston. 45 seconds left here in the third. Pass wide of the mark, back the other way. And that's what Coach Scaramont was talking about in his email exchange with me earlier today, is valuing that possession. Got to be sure of the pass, got to find the receiver on that one, because otherwise that's just a pass. Bill Thomas bulleted out of bounds.
Yeah, unforced error.
Defense can be good, but it's not that good.
Oh, block right there.
Yeah, got deflected down. That was McGregor for Caldwell, for Pompey. About a 4-second differential, shot clock and game clock. 10 to shoot. Coach Frederick would like a last shot situation here. 3 to shoot, now 2. Kelly, and Leominster will not get a shot off. That is a shot clock violation. 5 and 8/10 seconds left here in a molasses-filled third. The inbound, back and forth they play catch. Nickerson, front court Warburton. It was deflected by Pompey. And that is where we will hit the third quarter break through 3 here inside the gym at Leominster High School. It's Leominster 26 and Shrewsbury 20. The all-important fourth and final quarter as we continue. Kate Robbins is looking at the numbers back at headquarters. And Kate, maybe the numbers will make some sense of that third quarter.
There's not much to look at with regard to the numbers in the third quarter, because Leominster had a single basket made from the field. It was the 3-point shot by Caldwell. The only other points they had were from Pompey at the line. And for Shrewsbury, they had 1 made basket from the field, and that was it. They had 2 missed free throws, but right now the Colonials are 0 of 6 as a team from the line. Kalinowski is the only one making really steady contributions on the stat sheet for Shrewsbury. She had the lone shot made for the Colonials in the third quarter. She's got a team-high 10 points. The Blue Devils are treading water. Again, their defense has been lights out. The problem is when they get the basketball, they're not doing much with it on offense.
And that is the reality for both teams, Kate. Great point.
I hear Kate say 0 for 6.
0 for 6 for Shrewsbury.
Is that for the game, Kate?
For the game.
Wow. Didn't realize that. We've been focusing on the Blue Devils' lack of foul shooting efficiency, and Shrewsbury suffering the same problem.
Indeed they are. Kate Robbins, thank
you
so much. As always, there is always a number that sort of bears out what we've been watching.
I tell you, I didn't even realize that stat right there, but that's pretty glaring in itself.
The screen into the corner. That's McGregor. Recycle through Eggleston. Back for Kalinowski. Loose ball. And Kelly swats it out of play. 17 to shoot. 7:41 to play here in the fourth. Colonials are within 2 possessions. This game is far from decided. Utaro, jump stop. Inside deflection. Find McGregor. Taken away. Pompey. And Pompey absorbs the shoulder contact and stirs the ball upfield.
Good hands-up defense. I noticed the Blue Devils seem to be emphasizing that a lot more, Todd, that hands-up defense.
Indeed. Cross court, fine. Jumper for Kelly will go. And a badly needed 2 points for Leominster here in this fourth quarter. Back down floor, step through the lane, Utaro.
Oh, she's hurt.
To the floor hard.
She's up.
And down floor, Kalinowski the pick. And here we go the other way. Steps on the gas, Kalinowski. Utaro open, Boulay, crossbody block, and no call. To the baseline, sideline, loose ball to the floor. Bodies pile on top of each other. It's a tie-up, and the alternate possession goes to Leominster. .647 to play in the fourth, 28-20.
Shrewsbury settling into his defense here.
It's Boulay to Caldwell. In the corner, Kelly. Now into the post, Pompey. Back out, Marwa. Marwa stuck. Finds Pompey's jumper. Gets open and is able to deliver.
Good job, and Pompey moving to that spot. Marwa recognizing it, not forcing the issue.
Leominster has elevated its lead to 10. Now the steal for Pompey. Up floor for Boulay. And she walked with it. Ball will go back the other way. Nice hustle by Kalinowski to get back into the play.
Is that Kalinowski again? It seems like every trip down the court we're calling her name.
And you just look at her face, Bill Thomas. She is determined to get up and down the floor and be involved in the play. Inadvertent horn.
I'm not sure
Action
what happened
continues.
there. That was odd.
The swat, Marwa continues. Kick for Kelly, for Boulay. And the jumper for Pompey. Front rim, no. She knew it was off. She hustled. She makes contact on the floor. She took herself off her feet there. Loose ball is run down by Erin Biss. And back down floor. Kalinowski through the hands of Caroline Biss. Caught in the corner. Pompey made contact into a pile-up Sawyer. Sawyer up floor through hands. Finds Eggleston, can't finish the lay-in. Marwa tears it away.
She got mugged too, Todd.
Indeed, and the loose ball out of play, and a whistle goes off out of bounds.
Completely mugged right there. Just Shrewsbury girls all over her. No whistle.
Coach Rusty Frederick will spend the timeout, his second of the night. 5:31 to play in the fourth quarter. It's 30-20. Leominster on top of Shrewsbury.
Finding a way somehow to open up this lead a little bit, but only 3 points since halftime for Shrewsbury, and that's the saving grace for the Blue Devils right now.
And it has been an inability to complete the lay-ins. It's not for lack of open shooting opportunities. They've had their chances. They've had some good looks on the floor. Ball hasn't fallen. They haven't got the finish that they need.
And they're 0 for at the foul line, too, which, you know, it would make the
6 more
scoreboard
points.
look a little better, you know, get within a couple of possessions. But now time's winding down. The clock's their enemy, and, you know, the basket's got a lid on it right now for Shrewsbury.
Trade Leominster 7 points from the foul line they missed for the 6th Shrewsbury has, and we neutralize the entire storyline.
It does.
5:31 to play in the fourth, 30-20. Leominster's advantage is 10. Colonials with the basketball, and still plenty of opportunity. This feels like a tenuous 10 at best. Eggleston inbounds. Runner for Caroline Biss. Doesn't go. Got her own rebound. Got tied up, and Biss has got 2 shots at the line.
Official found his whistle all of a sudden.
Pompey gets billed for the foul. Her first. And hard in and out for Caroline Biss, the junior, at the line. 5:26 to play in the fourth quarter. Biss maintains her rhythm and banks that one in. Brings the Colonials within 9. It's Boulay for Kelly for Forsberg. Forsberg's jumper deflected by Sawyer out of her hand, and Kalinowski's got it in transition. 4-on-1 down 4. Pompey scrambles back in, reaches around. The official on the baseline's got the tie-up. The trail official correctly has the reach-in foul against Pompey. You cannot reach over, through, or around somebody to get to the basketball.
Rusty not happy.
And Coach Frederick voices his displeasure, but the official's call is correct.
Yeah, he knows, but when the officials are on opposite ends of the call, makes you wonder.
The trailing official
shooting foul,
had the best look at
it.
He
did.
Pompey was trying to scramble back into the play, the reach through the body. It's the correct call. Kick out, jumper, down it goes. Lead is 7 at 30-23. To the foul line, Forsberg. Then Pompey, and back and forth the ball goes. Pompey the take, skid, stop, give it to Marwa. Marwa gets pushed, called for the walk, and the ball goes back the other way.
Looked like a lot of body there pushing her on that baseline. Marwa not getting any calls tonight.
4:38 to play in the fourth quarter.
Still got a 3-possession game, but doesn't feel all that
Here comes Leominster's
secure.
full court pressure.
Good job getting it back to the inbounder right there after
And
the
Eggleston,
double.
split right through the middle of the Blue Devils. Boulay got a piece of that, but Biss runs it down, and then Pompey knocks the pass away. Boulay will bring it up floor. Leominster needing a basket on this trip. Forsberg back out to Pompey. Pompey to the left block, Marois. Marois back to the left block. Right elbow. And around we go. 16 to shoot. Keenan's going to take the three and hit. And Leominster's lead returns to 10, but the rhythm most important for that three-point basket for Keenan. Halfway through this fourth.
She had 6 the other night. Trying to find a spot tonight.
3:48 to play in the final frame of regulation. Kalinowski with the bounce into the lane, Sawyer. Right back out to Kalinowski, right corner. Back inside to Sawyer. Bounces it back out through Eggleston, rolls loose to Biss. Biss to Biss, left wing jumper will not go. Deflected down, and it's Forsberg. And Forsberg finds the outlet for Marois. Keenan, right wing jumper, and the two-point basket will go.
All of a sudden, Blue Devils open up a 12-point lead here, Todd. Things looking a little better right now, but this game's far from over.
35-23.
It's all done off turnovers, and
there's
there's another one.
Yeah, Boulay for Marois. For Keenan, who's got 2 straight baskets, a 3 and a 2 for 5 straight points, and Boulay contributes a 3.
And that's the nail in the coffin right there with 2:57. Timely basket off of that turnover.
And Coach Rusty Frederick will spend the timeout to stem the rhythm. 2:57 to play in the fourth quarter. 38-23. Right now, the rhythm was all Leominster in that one, I'd say.
And they're doing it from beyond the arc, too. But, Rusty, I'm sure, talking about defense and, playing under control. You don't want to give them anything easy. Continue to double team. I tell you, the double teams paid off time and time again for the Lady Blue Devils tonight. Created a number of turnovers with that hands-up defense.
2:57 to play in the fourth quarter. 38-23. Leominster on top of Shrewsbury. Action here on RFM, available immediately on demand at the conclusion of this one. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all available right there at those same locations. Pick your favorite one, go right back to the beginning of this one, and watch it all over again. Updates on schedules and some of the best reporting from around the region from a variety of sources. We try to aggregate it all together to one-stop shop at Media Rivalry on Twitter. Like, follow, and subscribe today. When the content goes live or the posts go up, they find you. That's the name of the game here on RFM. The inbound for Biss finds Eggleston. Under 3 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Eggleston for Biss to Caroline Biss. Left wing jumper. No. Kalinowski races the rebound. Just eludes her out of play. And the ball will go back to Leominster. 2:43 to play in the fourth quarter. Colonials fans imploring their team to create more opportunities. It's Pompey to Forsberg. And right back around in the opposite direction through Keenan and then Caldwell. Forsberg open on the right block, bounce it back out. Keenan inside for Bello. Bello square to the basket. One bounce, gave up the dribble. Hands off for Caldwell down the lane and draws the foul. And Jada Caldwell's going to go to the line to shoot a pair.
Good patience right there. Perimeter passing. Really it's about the clock management, and might have been something that Coach Fredericks talked about in that timeout. Work the perimeter and then find that interior shot. Get into the line for a couple.
First one will go for Caldwell. That was smooth. Speaking of Coach Rusty Frederick, he'll join us at our courtside broadcast position coming up at the conclusion of this one. That one will not roll for Caldwell. Eggleston creates space, and up floor she comes with the basketball. Inside, Warburton gets the entry from Biss. Right back out it goes. Circles around Caroline Biss. Splits the defense. Runner short. Out of play. Ball back to Leominster. And Lemansky will check into the basketball game. Madison Lemansky, the freshman, checks in for Kyra Forsberg.
Shrewsbury showing some defensive pressure here in the inbounds. First time all night.
Indeed they are. It's Keenan, Caldwell. Lemansky and Pompey, everybody but Bellows touched the ball on this trip.
Again,
22 to shoot.
Kill that shot clock.
1:42 and counting to play in this one. A win would be Leominster's 6th on the season. Pompey gets a 3 away and delivers.
Blue Devils offense come alive in this fourth quarter, Todd, courtesy of the 3.
Indeed it has, as back-to-back-to-back trips down the floor have generated points. Be Leominster's 3rd win in a row if they are able to close it out. Pompey gets her toe on it, sends that one into the Colonial bench. Clock will reset, shot clock that is, to 20. 1:12 to play in the fourth quarter.
Pompey gets a rest.
And Coach Skermont will send Drew Manzi, the sophomore, in to make this inbound. She'll find Eliza Nickerson. That one was deflected down. Nickerson, though, gets it back in the back court. It was deflected. She can go back and get it. This is Manzi. Manzi into the front. And a push from behind by Bello on Flynn. 7 to shoot. Will now become 35 off of that foul.
Only a 6th foul. Next one, Shrewsbury will be shooting, but kind of academic at this point as far as what's been happening at the foul line, Todd.
59 and 8/10 left here in the fourth. It will be a game of what-ifs for Coach Nate Skermont, because this was a game, as down the lane goes Aaron Biss to finish for 2, that was absolutely winnable for this Shrewsbury team.
Shrewsbury was up at 21-18, and that lead evaporated and then some.
Had a significant amount of momentum. Some missed shots, as there's the giveaway by Lemansky to Warburton. Warburton takes it down floor. Offensive foul is called, as Kelly was backpedaling toward the baseline.
I don't know if she ever established position, but she stayed in front of her, good enough for the official.
Just the 5th foul called against the Colonials, to 6 against Leominster here in the second half. 22 seconds remaining in this one. Gorham back on the floor on senior night, short of the mark. Loose ball tie-up. And alternate possession sends the ball back to Shrewsbury. 15 and 8/10 left here in the fourth quarter. Shot clock off, final 5 seconds here. Shot from Warburton won't go. Follow-on shot draws a foul, does Flynn. Flynn will go to the line with 1 and 8/10 seconds left here in regulation, trailing 42-25, and have 2 free throws. And that one will go for Flynn.
A foul was on Bello, and as active as she's been tonight, I find it hard to believe that's her first foul, but the officials say so.
And that one, nice pair put together by Flynn. And the final seconds come off the board on this one. Leominster picks up a win on senior night here inside the gym at Leominster High School. It's Leominster 42 and Shrewsbury 27. Blue Devils will improve with their 3rd win in a row to 6 and 4. The Colonials will fall to 2 and 9 on the season. Well, Bill Thomas, again, it'll be a game of what could have been if you're Shrewsbury, and for Leominster, it's a game of, it was a win we had to have. Ultimately, we battled our way into it. The 42-27 score looks more lopsided because Leominster's finally got their offensive production going in the fourth quarter. But for the first 3 quarters, it was fairly quiet.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of defense, a lot of turnovers, but a winnable game for Shrewsbury. And this is one that they're gonna think about and practice off of, because they were in it right up until the fourth quarter, and things fell apart offensively for them. And at the same time, the Blue Devils found their way beyond the 3-point arc, and their hands-up defense really stepped up there in that fourth quarter.
Leominster winner, 42-27. The action may have come to a close, but that doesn't mean we're done. Leominster head coach Rusty Frederick joins us at our courtside broadcast position to break this one down. Kate Robbins has your complete game stats and analysis coming up in our post-show next. For those of you joining us in delay on Leominster TV, we thank you so very much for spending your evening with us. Leominster a 42-27 win to improve to 6-4 on the 2022-2023 season. I want to thank Bradley Bedard for coming and bringing you the pictures tonight. For Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins back at RFM HQ, I am Todd Robbins saying so long to those of you joining us on Leominster TV in delay. If you're continuing along with us live here tonight inside the gym at Leominster High School on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch, post-game comes your way next. Leominster a winner, 42-27 over Shrewsbury tonight. A break and we're back with more. You're watching high school basketball right here on RFM. Welcome back to our courtside broadcast position here live on RFM. Great to have you along with us, whether you're joining us on YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch. Following a 42-27 Leominster win over Shrewsbury tonight, Blue Devils 6-4, Colonials fall to 2-9. Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins standing by with your complete stats. Joined first, though, courtside here by Leominster head coach Rusty Frederick. And, Coach, a 42-27 win. It's going to look better in the book at the end, but there were definitely some spots in this basketball game where there are points left out there that could have been a real problem, including 7 points in that first quarter for missing free throws.
Ouch. Free throws, like, we've been shooting them better, so we're starting to bring up our average, and then today happens. Overall, we've been getting better at shooting and free throws, and, obviously we're playing better basketball overall. Tonight was a little bit of a rock fight for a while, but then we stood tall and made some shots. Just focus, Be confident when you shoot.
An unchecked rock fight at points with the whistle, which was a concern of mine. What did you see on that block charge situation? I know what you saw, which was the hand go to the back of the head, and it's not often one overrules themselves on a play.
Well, we had a conversation about that one. He said he never went to the back of the head. But, it's a tough job officiating. I just thought he had the right call the first time.
I agree with you wholeheartedly in that particular concern. As we look at this one, Coach, and of course you're coming off of a game, which is something you don't often do, which is back-to-back nights. So you had the long trip in the storm to Sharon last night, pick up a win, long trip back after the game, and then a no-school day today, and then you get into the action tonight. And for coaches, you guys love consistency. That was nothing close to consistent as to how your normal flow of play goes.
That's how it lined up. So, we went out there. It took them 2 hours to get out there, and I met them out there. I got there. I probably left an hour later than they did, and I got there, and they just showed up right before me. And so we started the JV game late, and then they played 7-minute quarters and a 2-minute half, and, so we started that game late, and then the bus ride coming back. Thank God for the snow day. They could sleep in, so it really, we got players too on our bench that are just, we're getting them in and getting them out. Some days it's 10 minutes, some days it's 15, 4. Just step up when you're called.
When your opportunity comes. You're in this interesting situation where you're trying to, of course, find the combination that works both in physicality and in creating offense. Your defense has certainly always been the bright spot. It continues to be a bright spot at this point in time. But I can see you're trying to mix and match a little bit. Forsberg gets the start tonight in place of Bello. So you're trying to create maybe a situation where Forsberg's cruising a little bit, maybe able to play a little bit better on the inside. Bello is that project where you're trying to get her to learn how to play in space with her back to the basket.
Yep.
And that's, of course, an ongoing and growing development.
She's got the footwork. Now we just got to get her to be aggressive and go right to the hoop. Not, she wants to use those moves but if you get that first, couple of shots where you just turn and go up and hit them, now those moves will work. So we just got to keep working. She's a hard worker, love her. When she has that one game, she's going to just go, boom, what am I doing? And she's a hard worker, and she knows how to play the game. The
opportunity to connect will come. And that, of course, brings about the conversation a little bit about a senior who is new to Leominster, transferred in from St. Bernard's in Denham Gorham, and she has been the change of pace player you've needed on the inside that brings a physical tone to the women's game of basketball that generally is not always seen. And I think it adds a little edge to your inside game.
Yeah, she's playing a lot more now, not a ton of minutes, but when she's in there, she's physical, and she goes right up with it. So, the game against Wachusett when she first got in, and she was all over the place on the floor, a little toughness, and brought a lot out in us, So let's keep playing.
And you find ways, of course, to build that momentum. Let's talk about the seniors in your program. Gorham, of course, is one. And then you had a senior on your junior varsity program, Melina, and then, of course, Isabella Nevar. Those three honored here tonight with their senior night. And, their contributions to the program in various ways are one of those great things you get to celebrate on a senior night.
Like Denham comes in, I feel like I just met her because she's a transfer in. She
Sure.
came from St. Bernard's last year. She's been at Air Shirley. And she's here. Now she's a rock star here, you know, and we love having her. Even when she wasn't playing, she was being a leader on the bench. You know, she's there and, like, never complaining, come to practice, work hard, and, you know, she brings that attitude. And Isabella, well, 4 years of having Isabella, you know, she's grown into a beautiful girl and young lady, and she's made some strides. You know, just she's not playing this year because of the injury, and that bothers us. You know, it's like we're getting used to playing without her now. You know, but she was a good 10 points a game and some rebounds and some ball handling, and this was going to be a solid year for her because she just put her time in the summer, the fall. She fit in with the kids. It was just really, you know, you could see this coming. You could see the building, and then, you know, took a lot out of us. And then, you know, she's battling through, and she's like another coach now.
I had that thought on the ride over tonight as I was thinking about her career, and of course, she was with the varsity program as a freshman, made contributions every single year, and it seemed like these injuries have just nagged at her, and I have to imagine the most frustrating part has got to be she's got to feel like sort of that rocket that never quite got off the launching pad at points where it's like, I felt like there was so much more I could have achieved, you know, if just the injuries didn't break the way they did. But I love the point about, you know, that student coach mentality, the ability to, you know, it's not like you're cast off and, you know, see you later. It's, you know, you can still be a part of the program even if you can't put minutes in on the floor.
I mean, I can hear her like out of the back of she says things before I say them sometimes, and like, oh, now you understand. You know, and it's so funny. She's telling me this stuff. She goes, Coach, I'm so sorry. You know, I see what you're talking about now. It's just like you can learn and watch the game from the bench and bring that, you know, to the court. So everyone should be paying attention like that and, like, just see the game a little bit and hear me what I'm saying and, you know, if I'm not in their way, you know.
Perspective has a lot to do with it. Coach, some games ahead here, and you guys pack your bags. You are spending some time on the road on this next half of the season, and your next stop is at Doherty this coming Monday. So you get a few days off, and then it's right into Monday with Doherty on the road, and then couple of home games in there, and then you finish with that Wachusett, Fitchburg, Shrewsbury, Hopedale trip back to back, working your way into tournament season.
I mean, I enjoy being on the road sometimes. It was nice to get – we haven't been on the road until last night. You know, it was so long. We've been in this gym. It kind of gets old, you know. We haven't been out there on a bus. We haven't been away playing the games. And we kind of really looked forward to going out there. And, you know, we had a great game last night. And then, you know, we're going to go on the road and we're going to do well.
They thought they'd even up your mileage. They'd send you to Sharon. So they keep sending you farther away. They don't have to send you away as often, but they can even up that mileage in the grand scheme of things. Coach, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Now, another win tonight for Leominster, a 42-27 victory. Blue Devils top Shrewsbury tonight. Kate Robbins is standing by back at RFM HQ. And, Kate, this is your opportunity. Run us down through the final stats in this one.
All right, thank you so much. All right, let's take a look at those stats first for the visiting Shrewsbury Colonial team totals first. 42 rebounds, 2 steals, 27 turnovers. They shot 3 of 10 from the line as a team. Individual notable statistics. The Biss sisters, 2 points from one and 2 points from the other. So last name Biss, you had 2 points on the evening. McGregor ends her night with 6 points. Flynn ends her night with 4. Utaro ends her night with 2 points. And Kalinowski ends her night with a team-high 10 points. She was left scoreless in the fourth quarter. And once again, obviously, the primary statistic to note, the 15-point deficit at the end of the game for Shrewsbury. Now on the flip side of the ball, team totals first from Leominster. 27 rebounds, 6 steals, 11 turnovers on the night for the Blue Devils. They shot 7 of 16 from the line as a team. Individual notable statistics for the Blue Devils, they had 9 different ladies contribute to the offensive stat sheet, and I think that's what's going to end up being the difference maker. Nobody had a stellar game. There were no Blue Devils that were in double digits for scoring, but when you have 9 people contributing on the stat sheet, that can certainly cover up a lot of sins. So on their evening, Bella ends her night with 2 points, Caldwell with 4, Boulay ends her night with 5, Marwell with 4, Kean with 6 points on the night, Kelly with 2, Forsberg with 2, Gorham with 4, and Pompey ends her night with a team high 8 points for the Blue Devils. And once again, it was a much closer game through 3 quarters. Leominster, however, had some pretty decent offensive production in the fourth quarter to bring them over the top. But both offenses struggled at times, but defense continues to be the name of the game for this Blue Devils team. It's pretty much their hallmark.
Indeed it is, Kate, and thank you so much. Great job tonight back there with the numbers, and little Pat as well, chipping in his analysis there in the end as well, Kate.
He's always ready.
Indeed
You're
he
always
is.
ready, big guy.
3 Bs, book, bottle, bed. We'll see
Dad.
you at home base in a little bit. Kate, thank you so much. Great night tonight here inside the gym at Leominster High School, honoring the seniors of this Leominster program. Action ahead here in the coming weeks ahead, but first, all the different ways you can play. Facebook.com/Media Rivalry, YouTube.com/C/Rivalry Family Media, and Twitch.tv/Media Rivalry. You pick it, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Your favorite smart-enabled device can bring you to your favorite digital media app. You like, follow, and subscribe today. When the action goes live, it finds you. That's the great part about social media and broadcast. Updates on our schedule, as well as stories from around the region gathered from a myriad of sources at Media Rivalry. Like, follow, and subscribe there on Twitter for more information. Short January hiatus ahead, and then it is back to basketball in the month of February. Tuesday, February the 7th, 6:45 is the pre-show, 7 o'clock the tip-off. Boys back on center stage. It's a battle of 2 teams, and we'll see where they are. The boys team for Leominster had fallen from 7th back to 13th in the power ratings after a loss against Westford. Wachusett, meanwhile, not having the kind of year they want and a little bit of upheaval roster-wise. We'll see where that goes by the time things shake out for February 7th, which is guaranteed to be an exciting basketball game that both teams need as they look ahead to their respective postseasons. YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch will have the action live streaming for you. 6:45 the pre-show, 7 o'clock the tip-off for Leominster and Wachusett on the boys' side, here from the gym at Leominster High School on Tuesday, February the 7th. Final score here tonight, Leominster a winner, 42-27 over Shrewsbury. Leominster improves to 6-4. Shrewsbury falls to 2-9. For Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins, saying thank you so very much for joining us and spending 2 hours of your Friday night with us. Have a great weekend and a great couple of weeks. After a little hiatus, we'll be back with you in the month of February for the race to the finish. Postseasons ahead on both sides, boys and girls basketball, right here on your home for Central Mass basketball and statewide as well. Rivalry Family Media. Until February 7th, we say, so long, everybody.